I don't think anyone has been this well dressed to talk about Pebble and the Penguin in internet history. You know, Doug's tie. Doug was wearing a tie for his review, but mine is actually cinched up. So, that's the biggest difference. Catching up on cinema audience, this is the dark side of the Bluth, and this is the Pebble and the Penguin.
You can't keep a good dog down.
No, you can't.
No. You can't keep a good dog down.
I've been bought and sold.
He's been warm and cold.
But 10 to 1, I'll still be running rackets when I'm old.
Not in some cage in the city pound. 'Cause you can't keep a good dog. Can't keep a good, I say you can't keep a good dog down.
Yes, indeed. The Pebble and the Penguin, the year 1995. Wouldn't have guessed. I actually thought it was a little bit earlier than that, but kind of a oddly like quaint but also significant film in the dark side of the Bluth Chronicle. We skipped A Troll in Central Park because I have not seen it personally, but I ran it by Levi, and Levi, you said, I ain't got shit to say about the Troll in Central Park. Don't nobody got time for Troll in Central Park, but Pebble and the Penguin, at least you had said gotten a lot of play in your household as a child. So that's a foundation to work from. I hadn't seen it until just yesterday, basically. But yeah, this movie holds significance in that this was the last traditionally hand cell animated film from Don Bluth Studios. Not the last film he ever made, not nearly, but it was the last one that had this look and texture to it. So it was very much an end of an era, both for him and kind of the American animation industry in general, at least in the theatrical sense. Like the large budget features were moving towards digital, and this was the last gasp of the old way for Don Bluth. But yeah, this was 1995, so this came after Rock-a-Doodle and after Troll in Central Park. But yeah, Levi, you said you'd watched this one a decent number of times when you were a kid. What's your take on Pebble and the Penguin?
Yeah, this one got a lot of play. And it feels like I've talked about this before, that so much of my childhood like movie collections were because we would have VHS tapes that were stretched out to that 8-hour recording limit. Oof. Of like, you know, stacks of like, you'd have like 4 kids movies a tape. And so that's how I saw most of the movies as a kid. It was always something that was kind of passed, or it was recorded off TV or that sort of thing. So I feel like Pebble and the Penguin had to have been somewhere near the top of one of those tapes, and that's why it got so much play. Because doggone it, we have to watch this to get to what we really want to watch, which is 50 Goes West. So it's what we this was the same thing. We had this discussion, I want to say on air at some point, about how I never got to watch Space Godzilla all that often because it was like third on a tape, and ain't nobody's going past 4 hours of recording to get to Space Godzilla. I'm sorry, you're watching Son of Godzilla again. That's what you're watching. Yeah,
I had a similar experience with some Godzilla movies too. I never had an 8-hour tape, but we had a tape called Godzilla's Best that basically it was the favored Godzilla films in the household, and Terror of Mechagodzilla kicked things off, and then Godzilla vs. Mothra came next. And honestly, both of those are like certified bangers. I would love to watch either of them, but because it was the VHS era, you kind of had to ingest both or be ready for both if you wanted either, kind of. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That like that would be the reason actually that you ended up watching it so often, is that it wasn't because it was particularly great or anything. It was just it was at the beginning of a very long tape, and 50 Goes West was your reward at the end of the journey.
I feel like so many of these were like that, where I was just like, I just need to get to the later one. Come come on. Like, it was... And the problem is that you'd be like, I want to watch this movie on the tape, but we only have, an hour and some change. And then you would be like, okay, let's watch it. Let's watch this one. No, it's third on the tape. We're not going to deal with that. Let's just watch what's before it. No, please, no. And then you would come back to it, only to discover that one of my siblings rewound it. And it's like, no, God, no. This is... Do you know how much I've sacrificed?
It's funny, actually. I woke up this morning with a different Green Goblin quote in mind, and that was, back to formula. Because that's essentially what I think of when I think of this movie. Like, as I was watching it, I was like, oh, Rockadoodle was just like a psychedelic mind fuck. Like somebody taking some big swings and not knowing how to put the pieces back together after they fell on the floor. This one's just like, this is a straight up just simple moral tale, very like simple animated musical, like in the very, very, very traditional sense, which is why I don't think it did very well, honestly, is because it doesn't stand apart from the crowd very much. But to a child, that doesn't matter that much. To like a critic or something in an age when The Lion King and Aladdin have kind of just come and gone, it's like, okay, the standard is very, very, very high for theatrical animated films for children at this moment in time. A movie like this feels like something from the 1960s or something. But honestly, it didn't bother me that much. Full disclosure, I didn't hate this movie. I thought it was kind of all right. The animation in general is quite nice. There are some odd animation flaws from time to time, like straight up just things that are not right. Like I noticed there's a conversation between Marina and Drake where he just teleports, like because there's some missing frame, where he's like leaning forward and then he's standing up and then he's leaning forward again. It felt like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animation flub. Like, I'm assuming you watched James Rolfe's like animation flub review of the TMNT show. That was a special little video for me when it first dropped, because even as a kid, you noticed that, like watching that show, there were so many fuck ups in the making of that show. And I have to imagine it's because they made like 80 episodes a season or something. So just the sheer volume of work made them very prone to making mistakes. But yeah, the color of the masks on the turtles was always like flipping in and out, and like the wrong voice would come out of the wrong turtle. Sometimes the eyeballs would be like a few inches to the side of their head.
This was a running thing when I am a huge fan of Challenge of the Super Friends. Oh, okay. The other Super Friends seasons are like, I mean, listen, I like the Wonder Twins and like Wendy and Marvin as like a haha, like isn't that amusing type thing. Challenge is where the real stuff is at. We get Legion of Doom, we get like the full Super Friends roster. We don't have to put up with like the Hanna-Barbera characters that are created specifically for this are the good ones and not like the kind of weird ones. I don't know. But yeah, that would happen all the time where it's like, and Robin's mask is gone. And Batman's logo is the wrong color. And now Superman's logo is the wrong color. Someone else is speaking. Green Lantern has 3 arms. Hal just has another arm.
I'm just picturing him like this, and then just a hand like creeps out from behind him.
Well, because the thing is, he's posing like this, like one arm back, and then another one with the ring, and there's just another arm below that one slightly out here.
It's just like hanging.
It's like, how? Why do you have 3 arms?
It's a construct, Levi. He meant to do that. It's a distraction. So that he's doing close-up magic. You see?
Old animation was fun. And it's like, yeah, this has the budget of like $5 and a ham sandwich, but boy, is it fun.
Yeah, there is a charm to it. I think I've said this like every week for the past several weeks, but like there's something about hand-drawn like cell animation that just there's a tangibility to it that just processes different in my mind. I'm incredibly forgiving when it comes to this kind of presentation because I know what it takes to do it. Whereas like more digitally influenced animation, it's almost like an arcane dark art to me where it reaches a point where it's like I don't fully understand it and therefore I don't appreciate it in the same way. Like the technical wizardry of it and the presentation of it is objectively so far advanced compared to what you can do in this style, in like the style of like a Pebble and the Penguin, for instance, or something, or a Challenge of the Super Friends, or a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 80s. And yet it just doesn't speak to me in the same way. So like those little organic flubs, it's like I know how that happened and I understand why it happened, and it makes it kind of charming in the same way like seeing a little bit of like a fuck up or something in a film kind of tickles me. Like actually my most recent Red Cow edit was about the Stephen Colbert Lord of the Rings business, and I slipped in a cut from Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings animation because there's that bit where they rotoscoped Aragorn running and the actor tripped and fell, and they just left it in the movie. It has no relevancy. It doesn't actually, it shouldn't be there. And yet it was a thing that happened, and they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna draw over those frames and they're gonna end up in the film. And for some reason I find that very charming.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the it was oh my goodness, he's done so many freaking movies. Billy something. He's a little person actor, but you know, incredibly prolific. He was like the leader. He was the leader in Willow, like the big, like the mayor of the town with his big long beard and everything. But he was talking about how he was the rotoscope actor for one of the Hobbits in that Lord of the Rings movie, and he's just like, yeah, it's really weird. They like directly translated our movements for the rotoscoping. Like, for instance, I have a bad leg from a sports accident, and now just one of the Hobbits has a bad leg now. It's like, it's just kind of weird that, okay, this is just canon to the universe that one of the Hobbits has a bad leg.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you get when you're working with that style of animation. They're employing the technique of rotoscoping for that, and I guess they just decided not to make embellishments to that, or perhaps, you know, Ralph Bakshi saw that and thought it added some character or something. He just thought it was neat. Like whimsy is a thing when it comes to creativity and filmmaking, and I kind of appreciate it. Like if there's a justification in most instances, like if it's just like there for some reason, then it's like it's a little different, but. On the subject of rotoscoping, this film does employ some usage of it, the Pebble and the Penguin. It's interesting seeing some of the hallmarks of Don Bluth's animation style. Again, because this is kind of the last time it will be exhibited in this fashion, in the way that we all kind of think of Don Bluth animation, because Anastasia made all the money, but that's not, for me personally, that's not the first Don Bluth film I think of. Like, that's not the style, that's not the look, that's not the feel. But rotoscoping is kind of a hallmark of his animation style. In virtually every instance, a human is included in the action. Secret of Nim, like the style of movement they employ for the human characters in that film is very, very similar to this one. You can tell it's been rotoscoped just because of the quality of the animation and the modeling of the characters. Although I don't think the little girl in All Dogs Go to Heaven, I'm not positive she was rotoscoped. I don't recall. It's been a long time since I've seen that one front to back.
We'll see.
Yeah, perhaps we'll see. Also, there's some like rigid bodies that are rotoscoped as well. Most notably during the Misery song sequence, the crate, the object that Hubie Halloween is encased in, that's sliding around, is seemingly very obviously rotoscoped. And it plays really, really well. That scene in general is pretty technically solid. And also, like, I don't care what people jerk off to, Levi. We talked about this when we talked about Lewis the Love Hog, Linkara. I don't care. I don't care what people jerk off to, actually. I really don't. Like, no judgment. And I'm not saying that Don Bluth jerked off to any of this, but I am saying that sometimes the waves of fear and arousal come together and overlap with one another. And there's a thing with mouths and with eating that seems to be a thing in Don Bluth animation. There's always some big fucker trying to eat somebody in his movies.
I wouldn't attribute it in that way, personally. I see it more as we need a force of nature villain.
Yeah, I mean, like, the cats, for instance. Like, Dragon the Cat in Secret of Nim would be kind of what I'm alluding to. Also, the Great Owl. It's the thing about owls, man. Those owls, they'll get you. They'll eat you. This one has a leopard seal and a killer whale. Sharp tooth. There's a lot of big fuckers out there trying to eat you, and we spend a lot of time inside their mouths, is what I'm saying, Levi.
There was
opening shot of Rockadoodle is going down the throat of a rooster, going down the throat of a cock.
Going down the throat of a cock.
You get to see that uvula action. It's doing something for somebody, is what I'm saying, Levi. Don't tell me it's not.
It was funny seeing the leopard seal, because the way it was animated and the way the bubbles were coming up from it, in particular the second time we see it, it was very interesting. And the way that the eyes were kind of down and sort of the shading on them, I'm like, that looks like a very old Disney design. Like, that looks like Pinocchio, like the whale from Pinocchio.
Monstro.
Like, it looks like Monstro in the way that it's just designed and the way it's shaded and the way it's kind of sitting there. I'm like, huh. I'm like, that's very interesting. Like, because everything else looks pretty of its time. It looks like it's from the 80s or the 90s. And then, like, there's just a handful of frames here and there that I'm like, that looks really like 40s Disney.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I noticed that, too. I mean, we do have orcas in this. We do have killer whales. And very interesting, actually. Very interesting timing, because I want to say Free Willy was like the year before this. So the Free Willy and the orca in general was kind of like a symbol of peace and majesty. And then this movie comes along and is like, no, they're straight up serial killers of the sea.
Yeah. Free Willy, a favorite of a section of Catching Up on Cinema's audience.
A section, an individual, if you will. I don't know the man personally, but he wears his passions on his sleeves. And again, no judgment. But yeah, Free Willy, as compared to this, it's kind of interesting seeing that, the timing anyway. But yeah, Don Bluth has a knack for scaring those kids, man. Like, he really just has it down to a science. He really knows how to fuck with your emotions as a child, because the killer whale chase in particular, like the leopard seal is pretty intense. The killer whale business, like, the sky is blood red. It looks like that season of Batman the Animated Series where the sky is blasted red and the ocean is just pitch black, and it's like churning. It doesn't look like water, honestly. It looks like black glass or something. And yeah, the style of animation in that sequence in particular, also involving whales, did really make me think of Pinocchio and think of the menace that was Monstro the sperm whale. And it did have that throwback, like, Disney vibe to it in the very, very good sense. In general, all the water stuff in this is handled really well. And it's funny because it's in like a very, like, modest and, like, humble kind of way, the way it's presented, where it's just like the animators all know that they gave themselves carpal tunnel and, like, destroyed relationships and marriages to make that happen. But to us, the viewer, it's like you either notice it or you don't. And it's like, I noticed that. And I know that when it comes to animation of any kind, really, water is one of the harder things to get right. Hair is also one of the harder things to get right. Gold is also one of the harder things to get right. I think famously, what was it, The Road to El Dorado kind of like strutted its stuff and was like, hey, we did literally all those things in this movie just to challenge ourselves. And this one, you get all these ocean sequences where it's like, God damn, like that's work. That's like using physics brain while you're trying to hand animate and character animate these penguin characters that exhibit so much animation and color in their movements. And you have lots of sequences where people are like dripping wet. That there's a completely needless sequence where they mud wrestle. Maybe that's another Don Bluth thing. I think there was mud wrestling in The Land Before Time also. Tar. There's tar in Land Before Time. I'm connections, revolution. but yeah, there's that bit where they're like wrestling in the mud that they really don't need to be doing that. Like the scene is important, but that particular context, like them actually being covered in mud, progressively getting dirtier, that's work, man. That's physics brain stuff that you need to incorporate into your animation. It's more work and it's more difficulty, but I went for it.
Yeah, I think a lot about, I mean, especially scenes like that, I remember reading somewhere there's a very specific head movement that they used to do in Disney animations, where it was essentially one of the old men strutting their stuff, just being like, I just do this for the hell of it. Where it's essentially a character kind of shifts their head up and kind of like just kind of jostles their head in a particular way. And from an animation standpoint, that's obscene because it's like different angle, 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 different angle. It's like 18, 20, 25, 50 separate drawings that you have to do in order to get that smooth and getting it to look right. And it's needless. It does nothing. But it was essentially the way of some of the old men, some of those old guard animators to be like, I can do this all day. I'm just going to have my characters do this. And it's superfluous, but I'm doing it just to show you I can. And there are times in Bluth's movies as well where you're like, I feel like this is just flexing. This is just being like, oh yeah, we don't need to do this. We're gonna, and here it is. And here's something that I'm like, that we're going to throw in here just to show you that we can.
Yeah, it's funny because like in a lot of ways, like I think of animation as being a bedfellow with like magic to some degree. Like it I have to imagine it gives like a similar kind of like gratification and rush where it's like not necessarily that you pulled one over on somebody, but you showed them something that like just the mechanics of it escape them just a little bit, where there's that amazement where it's like, holy shit, you made a series of drawings. You made me forget that I was looking at a series of drawings. I saw a fluid thing in motion that felt alive for a couple seconds or whatever. And I want to say that flourish is something that comes with that process, where it's like I find myself doing that when I'm doing like basic keyframe animation stuff, where it's like I could just do this. I could just, make a JPEG or a PNG wiggle or something, and that would be serviceable. That would work. But then it's like, or I could do a couple extra little things, and like then it would really sell it, and it would like really wow people, and it would get that little extra response, or it would make me feel better about it. So I imagine if you have your head down and you're drawing all day, it's like at some point you're just like, I'm gonna do this shit for me. Fuck it. Like whatever. Yeah. And you see it all the time in animation. You see these little flourishes and stuff that don't really need to be there, but you really appreciate them when they're there. And also it's a tricky art form because the complete absence of motion is not animation. And in the midst of like a theatrical animated film or something, whenever you see something that's not moving at all, like isn't animated, your brain picks up on it right. Yeah. Like what was it? That Amazon Invincible show has been catching a lot of flack because of that. Have you seen any of the stuff that okay, so basically on like Instagram and stuff, people are posting examples of the animation team probably trying to spare their brain cells and their wrists and save a buck, maybe, where it's like there's a dragon character that turns and faces the camera and then comes towards it, and it's clearly just like somebody took a digital still image and expanded it to give the illusion of a thing coming towards you, so the perspective doesn't change, there's no animation, it just goes and it's like
that's some Hanna-Barbera stuff.
It is. I mean, that's yeah, it totally is. But that's again the nature of the beast, is like it's a massive undertaking, like any animated project, like no matter what the scale is, honestly. And on the one hand, you have the flourish where it's like, I'm gonna dump a bunch of effort and time into this, and then you have the reality of like budget and release dates where it's like, oh fuck, like we just gotta pump this shit out. And that's how you end up with Evangelion, where they get to the series end, it's like, we have no money. Congratulations. We have no money. Congratulations. We have no money. Here's an episode of television animated Ken Burns style on dinner napkins. Because we had no money.
We
blew it all.
Cut to you aggressively drawing Wolverine and Deadpool on a napkin.
Yeah, that's a reference to a Red Cow clip that I added a while back, the Deadpool and Wolverine episode. But there's one example I found in this film of there being no animation, and it's kind of a weird one, where it's during the misery sequence, which again is a beautifully animated sequence. Actually, on a technical level, they're doing a lot of interesting things. Like I said, they have that rotoscoped element that's sliding around. The camera is constantly wibbling and wobbling to simulate the effect of being on a ship deck, which I don't think affects the animation so much, but it's just an additional consideration when photographing the cells and stuff. There's a scene where there's a gaggle of penguins, and that's again part of why the scene is technically kind of incredible, is the sheer number of moving figures in the scene. Like it's not like Katsuhiro Otomo levels of like shit moving on the screen, but it's a lot of penguins. That's a lot of penguins. There's one penguin though who's positioned like at the fore of this thing that's sliding around, and he's just going and he doesn't move for a good solid 3 seconds. He's just he just goes woo across the screen. It's like, you didn't do shit to that guy. You just drew him once and said fuck it. Which is fine.
Listen, man, I mean, there's all this other stuff sliding around. The camera's doing this number. It's like we can afford it.
That's, I think, what happened. It's like there are 20 other penguins that are doing interesting things. Can one of them just not do anything?
Boss, I haven't seen my kids in 3 weeks. I'm leaving. I'm going home.
It's like, okay, that one penguin's just like, every time Don Bluth watches that movie, he's like, that fucking penguin ain't penguinin. He ain't doing anything.
I suppose
call that family estate and be like, your son fucked me. He fucked my film.
Your son is the reason MGM cut my movie. Yeah. I suppose for the audience at home, we could probably actually talk about what the movie's about, at least a little.
If we must.
So the Pebble and the Penguin actually if I must. The Pebble and the Penguin actually represents a real phenomenon that happens in nature with a particular species of penguin that brings pebbles. It brings rocks forward as a mating ritual. Like a lot of animals in nature have this, where it's like like certain male birds will like bring like colorful pieces of ribbon or string or something to create their nests. It's like beauty is an aspect in nature, even in these sorts of things. So these penguins, in real life, do bring pebbles to each other as a form of mating rituals. So this goes off of that, and we have a doofy penguin, a very doofy penguin, as played by Martin Short, who wants to be like proposed to his penguin sweetheart, and ends up finding a pebble that comes from space. I'm like, oh hey, it's kryptonite.
I mean, it is green.
It's got that nice shine to it and everything. But it can also see like across time and space. So it's got like some like Saruman orb type situation. So that's a thing. But then our doofy penguin Hubie is captured and put aboard a ship and taken far, far away from Antarctica, where he has to make it back home with a surly adventurer penguin, as played by James Belushi, as he is credited as. This is a respectable film, so he is James Belushi. All the while, back at the homestead, Hubie's sweetheart is being stalked by Tim Curry with the most ridiculous American accent I have ever heard.
What even the fuck is it?
So that's the film, and let's launch into what the hell is Tim Curry's accent. I don't think I've ever heard Tim Curry with his like dastardly British accent like smoothed out into an American one, because it starts to sound like this. Instead of it carrying that sort of menace, this toxic love that it usually has, it has more of a exaggerated, like Kennedy tennis court type accent nature to it. It's like an affectation that somebody would put on to make fun of the upper crust of the 60s.
I think that is what it is. I think it's supposed to be like a mid-Atlantic something or other. Where it's like, it has a teeth gnashing quality to it. You know,
this character is all teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. He is all teeth, very toothsome penguin. But yeah, his accent wavers back and forth between like mid-Atlantic high society Kennedy type to surfer dude to straight up just Tim Curry flattened out. Because like when he goes full evil, it's just Tim Curry. Like
it reminds me of Liam Neeson in Schindler's List, where he like kind of has like this mild German accent, and as soon as he gets upset, it's Irish all the way.
Yeah, if ever there was a man who could not hide his Irish, it's Liam Neeson. Even when he thinks he's doing it, it's what? He's on the level of Arnold Schwarzenegger, where it's like if you are writing him as an American or a naturalized American citizen, however you want to frame it, you need to have a throwaway line of dialogue pointing to him coming from Ireland or having a father from Ireland or something, because it's too apparent even when he tries to cover it.
Yeah, Sam Neill's the same way. You're oh no, oh we can't hide this. Oh, and when we try to, it's not. It ain't working.
Yeah, I mean Sean Connery's the same deal, where it's just like, one, never ask him to try to cover it, because he's not gonna. And if he tries, which I don't know that I've ever heard him try, I don't think it's ever happened. I think he just has to be Scottish. It's just required. Yeah.
What's funny is that Tim Curry actually can do accents, and it's like it's not anything. It's not something that he is incapable of doing. I mean, he's The last place safe from capitalism. Space. It's like the guy can do a convincing Russian accent if a little bit cartoony. It's like he can do like different areas of Britain. This American accent is wild. It's really strange.
Yeah, it's funny because like he was doing a lot of voice work around this time. Like I think that was just like the stage of the career for him, because he was doing like Fern Gully, obviously, like around this time. He was doing what was it, Peter Pan and the Pirates or whatever the fuck. He was Captain Hook on there. He was a very busy man. He was doing a lot of voice work, and this one, I don't know what the fuck happened. He just decided to take it for a walk or something. And what's interesting is there's like Barry Manilow, by the way, did the songs for this film. It is a musical mostly. And actually I kind of appreciated that to some extent. There's a quality to the opening sequence, which is very long and very artful. Like they really try to make like the opening couple minutes of this thing like really be a big production, like telling you like you're in for a big show. But what's interesting about it is it has like a 1960s like high school vibe. It feels like Grease or some shit. Like there's a chorus for the female character, for Marina and her group, and then there's a chorus for Hubie and like his group. It feels like a musical about like high school days or something, with like greasers and socias or something. But it like we don't really do that. Like it's just kind of like an idea that gets kind of needled at just a little bit and then abandoned. So like I thought like maybe at first like I was thinking like Drake would play into that or something. Like there would be some classism or something. But no, he's kind of an odd villain, because he's like his motivations are horrible in a human context, and then two, his design is strange. Yeah, he's all chest, like he's all inflated chest. He looks like Johnny Bravo or some shit, but he's also got a cape. Just has a cape.
It's
neat.
He has like shades of the DC Comics character Solivar. Like
Solivar.
He is the king of the ape city. He is the king of the city of hyper intelligent apes, where Grodd comes from. Yeah. And he is, big black gorilla with this big long red cape.
Big red cape on a big dumb man.
Yeah,
it's just his design feels a little out of step with everybody else.
Yeah, and it's funny because he looks like he's from a different film.
He does.
And I also got to watch this one with the girlfriend. And it was fun. I didn't do any research before sitting down with this one again, and I completely forgot the entire cast. I completely forgot everything about that. Because again, I haven't seen the movie in like 20 years. And we're like, Martin Short is in this? Okay, that's cool. James Belushi. All right, respectable. Tim Curry. Oh, we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. And if she's like, if Glenn Campbell's name comes up, I'm going to lose my shit.
Yeah, no Glenn Campbell, no Dom DeLuise.
No, I would have accepted Dom DeLuise. I would have accepted him. But it is, the cast is just it feels right, where these are actually names. These are names that you can attribute, where Rockadoodle feels very eclectic. This was one that we also found on archive.org. And I made the comments. I'm like, it's great that Don Bluth doesn't give a crap that people are just like posting his movies for free online as 1080 rips from the Blu-rays. And they are labeled publicly as such, as 1080 Blu-ray rips that are just free on archive. And she turned to me, she's like, Levi, if you would have had to pay for Rockadoodle, I think you could actually charge Don Bluth with theft.
Yeah, I would feel pretty scummy paying for Rockadoodle.
But watching this, she's just like, Drake can't be the same species of penguin, right? He looks nothing like any of the other penguins. He, like, the shape of his head and the way, like, just the way he moves is just foreign to all of the other penguins. Like, he has to be a different species. He isn't. He's the same species as Marina and Hubie. Somehow.
I mean, if you wanted to do like a complex story, which this is not. If you wanted to do something complex, you could do like a cuckoo bird story or something, where it's like Drake is not a penguin. It's like he is something else altogether, but he was raised among them. And you know what? He's bigger than all of them. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's going to fuck up all the little penguins and take the hottest one for himself.
This is the weirdest version of Elf I've ever heard.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if it registered with you in the moment, but Levi kind of made a subtle Secret of Nim reference about birds and strings. There was a whole business involving the crow character in that film where he's trying to find a mate and he's trying to attract her with some pretty string. That is a thing. Did we find another kink for Don Bluth? Is he into shibari? Because we have Rocco and Hubie being tied up in strings, and this one vines, not strings, vines. It's a different thing. It's also a form of rope that can be tied in knots. We got a lot of knot play in Don Bluth films. So we got mouth shit. We got rope play. I'm just fucking with you. Anyway, yeah, the cast. Barry Manilow did the songs. We can get to that, I guess. But Martin Short was worrying me in the opening minutes of this. I was getting really worried. I was like, oh no, is this what this is going to be? Because he has a stutter that is really exaggerated in the opening minutes of the film, because he's talking to Marina, the penguin that he has the hots for and who he ultimately will try to give this pebble to. But when he's not in her presence, thankfully the stutter mostly goes away. It's not something you have to bear with throughout the entire film. His singing voice is actually quite good because he's Martin Short. He's a very talented guy. The design of Hubie upsets me. I don't like looking at Hubie. He's got that deerstalker cap, his eyelashes and his eyelids. Like, he has lustrous eyelids and long eyelashes, and just something about the construction of his face just pisses me right the fuck off. I don't like looking at Hubie.
Yeah, Hubie seems to constantly be giving every character and the audience bedroom eyes. Yes. Like, he just kind of has like this half-lidded, half-fluttery, like,
yeah, it's like,
like it's this weird, and like they give him like a double chin.
Yeah, an unflattering.
And they kind of make him they kind of make Hubie this weirdo, frumpy, kind of feminine-looking penguin, and it's really strange. It's funny. Another girlfriend comment. She's just like, okay, so nobody gets cleavage in this movie except for Drake, but there's hips for days. So if you're a hip man,
oh yeah, we got hips. Marina's hips don't lie. And yeah, Hubie's packing. But yeah, Hubie's design I didn't care much for. Rocco fares a little bit better.
What's funny about Rocco is that he does look like a rockhopper penguin. Like, like audience at home, or if Trevor, you want to throw this in the edit if you feel like it, he looks like a rockhopper penguin. It's like, oh hey, yeah, that's like the eyebrows and the like streaky yellow, and yeah, that's what they look like.
Yeah, they're like cooler macaroni penguins. He actually does look like a rockhopper penguin, and they do actually name drop that. I think they may say Adelie penguin also at some point or another.
They do.
So they did their research, and that's kind of neat. I was raised on the Zoo book, so details like that would have resonated with me had I seen this as a little kid. But yeah, Rocco fares, I think, a little bit better from a design standpoint. James Belushi's vocal performance. Jim Belushi as a person can often be inflammatory and obnoxious, but as a performer, he can be fun. He does have a quality to him, especially I think as a voice actor. He had the line of the movie for me that it's not the line, it's what I associate it with. So it's on the Misery ship where they first meet. So Rocco is captured and placed in a cage. Hubie's already been encaged, and they've already had like a musical sequence and all that. And Rocco immediately is like thinking of ways to escape. Like he's going to be the escape artist. It's like Finding Nemo or some shit for you kids out there. And Hubie's like, hey, I got this. I got the Meteor Man, Meteor Man, Pebble and the Penguin crossover. I got
sweet Meteor Man reference there. That's
somebody had to. A Meteor Man needs to be referenced whenever possible. Hey, I got this hunk of kryptonite. You want to go pawn it in Antarctica? And Rocco's like, yo, sign me up. But not really, because he sees Hubie, as we see Hubie, and he's like, no, like you're not coming with me. Fuck that. You're gonna slow me down. But anyway, Hubie's trying to convince him. He's like, yeah, I have this mission. It's really important. My gal's getting, creepily pulled away from me by this big fucking steroid penguin that I'm not sure is entirely a penguin. And Rocco keeps giving reasons. He keeps citing reasons why he can't come with him. He's like, no, you're too slow. Like you're look at you, just look at you. But the line that got me was it just quickly offhand, like Hubie keeps throwing reasons why he should come with him, and he's like, you're too dumb. just you're too dumb. And I started cracking up, not just because the line was funny to me, but because it made me think of Goof Troop. Levi, did you ever watch Goof Troop?
I did.
Okay, so there's a line from Goof Troop that I cannot find on the internet. It's been a while since I've looked, so maybe it's somewhere. Maybe it's on Disney Plus. On Disney Plus.
Disney.
But my brother and I quote this back and forth, and have been doing this for decades at this point. It's a sequence where Pete, who is neighbors with Goofy, is telling his son PJ why he can't hang out with the Goofy family, even though they're neighbors and they're friendly. He's like, you'll get the goof germs. You'll start saying stupid things like gosh and yuck, and you'll try to remember things, but you can't because you're too dumb. And I don't know why, but that line always cracks me up. You try to remember things, but you can't because you're too dumb. So Hubie can't come with Rocco because you're too dumb. It's like, geez. Just say the quiet part loud. Jesus.
During that same scene, Hubie was like, I could create a diversion. I could yell and squawk and make awful noises. And my girlfriend's like, oh, so he's going to be Martin Short then.
I mean, yes. I mean, maybe that was it.
And I'm like,
that was just Martin Short saying it plainly. Why you hire Martin Short?
It's, to be fair to Martin Short, he does bring an actual performance here. This is a real performance. This isn't Ben. This isn't Ben. Like, he is actually bringing something to the table. And that's the thing. Everyone is. Everyone is actually putting in the time and putting in a performance. It's like, even though the movie, behind the scenes, MGM apparently futzed with this one a lot, to a point where Bluth and his producer were like, we want our names off this movie. We want it gone. Absolutely not. And MGM, like the head of MGM, and that's the studio, was like, yeah, not much. And we also don't take any ownership of this. Like, we genuinely see this as Don's film, and we think it's pretty good. we like this movie. I'm not sure what Don's talking about. So it's like, it's one of those weird things where you're like, But there are moments where you're like, yeah, something feels missing. Like, there are just like some emotional beats that pass a little too quickly. And there are some moments that are told to us via narration that you feel like we could have gotten in like a 2 or 3 minute scene instead of the 30 seconds that they give us. There are some times where it's like, this feels a little too easy and a little too quick. But for the most part, it's coherent and everyone's putting in like a real honest to God performance. It doesn't feel like anybody's phoning this one in.
Yeah, you can tell that some tweaks were made. You can tell that some chunks of it were just straight ripped out. But it's cohesive to an extent that Rockadoodle absolutely would not. Rockadoodle's a complete fucking mess. Where like it's bizarre some of the choices made on Rockadoodle. Where it's like, so you have a Rock and Roll Rooster movie, and you have Glenn Campbell singing songs, and we're gonna narrate over the song. Okay, we don't need to hear the songs apparently. We didn't pay top dollar for this guy, and have all of our best talent thrown into his scenes, and then throw narration over it. This one, it's like the narration is placed tastefully, like it's there in a utilitarian sense, where it's kind of trying to usher things along. I do agree there are plenty of beats that needed to be full ass beats rather than just like blip, like, oh, we're on to the next. It feels like a series of vignettes from time to time, where there's a lot of fade in and fade outs to just like, oh, we're in a different region now. It's like, oh, we're in the tropics. Oh, now we're back in Antarctica. That happened in between scenes and stuff. It moves very, very briskly in that sense. But yeah, performance-wise, I have no complaints. I actually was impressed with Hubie by the time you get to the end of the thing. Because those first couple minutes were pretty rough for me. I was getting really worried that was going to be the performance. But Hubie, like, to the credit of the filmmakers and Martin Short, has a arc. Like, he actually does grow and change throughout the story in the positive sense. And it's kind of neat seeing him leverage his strengths in the midway point of the movie. Because Rocco is very straightforward and not necessarily one-dimensional, but he's very straightforward. And Hubie is intelligent enough to recognize that and actually manipulates them. It's like, oh, Hubie's not a dumbass. Like, Hubie recognizes the nature of the person he's dealing with, and not like sleazily, but kind of like tweaks him just a little bit, like challenges his nature, and like kind of does the Marty McFly call him a chicken kind of thing. And he's like, hey, I'm not a chicken, I'll go with you to Antarctica. And it's kind of interesting seeing that play out. They also do the something that Don Bluth seems to understand very, very well, the buddy dynamic. The buddy and the rivalry dynamic, because Land Before Time had Littlefoot and Sarah. And their dynamic was interesting and had lots of flare-ups and the warmth of them coming back together again. That's how you pull people in. That's how you create drama. All Dogs Go to Heaven, I don't remember the name of any characters in that, but it is a buddy story for the most part. Dom DeLuise is, of course, the sidekick, and Burt Reynolds is the main guy. Big surprise there with that casting. And in this one, it's like we have Rocco and Hubie kind of adventuring together, and we get to see them get pulled apart and then put back together again. And I thought the dynamic played out pretty well. I would say that their musical number together, I think, was one of the highlights of the whole film. In most sense. Like, I think from an animation standpoint, I think the character animation is done really, really well. I really like the tune. And I like that scene. How did you feel about that one, Levi?
I think it mostly works. There are times where I just wish their dynamic had a little bit more time. Like, yeah. It's weird because I feel like the dynamic does. Like, them together is the focal point of the picture. But it feels like there's not a slow trend upward. It feels like it is fairly across. They don't like each other, they don't like each other, they don't like each other, and boom, they're friends. Like, it feels very sudden in a strange way, because we have like a full 45 minutes of them not getting along. And not just we don't go from not getting along to grudging respect to friendship. We go from like they aren't getting along to we're friends now in like the span of a scene. And it's like, I think the song works. I just wish it was earlier in the film.
Yeah, I could see that working out a little bit better. It is interesting how much time we actually get to spend with them, and how the relationship builds in kind of a slightly inorganic way. Annie Golden surprised me. I don't know her at all. Apparently she was part of a band or something in the 60s or 70s. But her voice, holy shit. She has some duets with Martin Short, but she has exactly one song dedicated to just her. It's very brief, but fuck, like, damn, that girl's got pipes. I was very impressed with that. And it surprised me because it's like borderline like saccharine. Like it feels like kind of throwback Disney, like 1960s, maybe even like 1950s or 40s or whatever. But it worked for me. I was kind of surprised by that. And by the time you get to the end of the movie, it was neat seeing them kind of stick the landing. Like they have a couple of balls in the air in terms of these ideas that they address. They don't forget about anything. And Rocco flying is a little questionable. But yeah,
Rocco
the whole time
levitating.
Yeah, that's not flight. He's doing some Magneto shit, where he's master of magnet. He just or M. Bison. It levitates.
It levitates bullet trains. I was thinking the same thing. It levitates bullet trains through Shanghai, and it levitates me.
Yeah, that pronunciation of Osaka is. There will never be another human who says that word that way. Osaka. It was like, Jesus.
What's wrong, Colonel Guile?
I love that movie. It's not good, but I love it. But yeah, Rocco flying at the end. The whole time I'm watching it, I'm going, what? It's just Michael Keaton. What? But then I paused for a second. And I was like, okay, maybe this is another Bluthism. I don't know if he jerks off to this, but he does have a thing about miracles. He jerks off to miracles, Levi. I'm sorry.
That's just Mormonism. I mean, it is what
you said it, not me.
Excuse me, folks. They soak to miracles. That's
we got it. Details make it funnier. Don Bluth has a kink for miracles, because if memory serves, Secret in Him, there's the stone that sleeps and all that business. Mrs. Brisby catches fire. I don't know how that happened, but while she's in Dark Phoenix mode, she lifts the stone. She levitates the stone.
I want a Don Bluth character X-Men lineup. I want Littlefoot as Cyclops.
Littlefoot as Cyclops. Brontosaurus with a visor. Who would Wolverine be? Would it be a Tiger from Five Goes West or American Tail?
That would be funny.
Well, no, he would. I mean, that would be Sabretooth, I guess. But Brotherhood, X-Men. We're talking comics at this point.
Dazzler.
That would be perfect. Yeah, Chanticleer is Dazzler with the domino mask on him. Give him some. I mean, he already has the disco pants. But yeah, Don Bluth jerks it to Miracle because Rocco just flies. It just happens. But the Pebble thing, like for a little kids movie, which this is, they handle it pretty well. Where it's like it's treated as a precious thing throughout the whole movie. Got magic powers. Who knows how? I mean, honestly, when it hit the ground, I was like, is that the Blob? Like, did the Blob just arrive in Antarctica and Hubie's helping it? What the fuck? But the Pebble is like treated as, I mean, it's part of the title of the movie. Like, there are many instances where he doesn't have to go back for it, but he chooses to. It's precious to him. He treats it like this token that's like, if I don't keep possession of this Pebble thing, I won't get my happy ending. My gal won't be with me. But he never says that. He just treats it as a precious thing. Like, he's never banking on the Pebble being the solution to his problem. And by the end of the movie, they do a very subtle thing that, again, for a children's movie is important and works, where he proposes to her without the Pebble. And there's no hesitation on either party. Like, on his, he doesn't like pat himself and be like, oh no, I lost the Pebble. Like, if they had done that, they would have fucked it up. But no, he's just, the day is saved. He and Marina have a moment. He goes on one knee and he says, hey, Marina, you want to be with me? And she's like, yeah, of course. And it's like, settled. And then it just so happens Rocco has it. And he's like, oh, hey, by the way, here's your Pebble. And it's like, oh, sweet, you have the Pebble. So it's basically just reinforcing like what she, again, kids movie, looks directly into the lens and says, like, it's not the Pebble, it's the penguin. Episode 1.
Episode 1.
So it's reinforcing the message. So it's like, you don't got to give shiny things in order to, get happy ending and stuff. If you pick the right person. By the way, Drake, he dies as fuck.
Oh boy, does he? Because yeah, we were saying that Drake lives in a giant skull cavern where the rocks have formed to form two clawed hands as the balcony. I don't know how that happened or why that happened, but that's where Drake lives with his big cape and his cronies and his villain song that is weirdly aggressive. Like,
yeah, don't make me laugh. Very aggressive, in fact.
Well, because it's like usually like it's weird because it is just kind of done like in the standard of like other villain songs. I don't know why it feels just so like in your face and just so possessive, but it's like,
I think it's because a lot of villain songs are like celebrating themselves, whereas his is just like straight up just shitting on somebody. Like, yeah, telling them like, you ain't got no chance. Like, stop. Like, just give up. Do you see how big my pecs are?
Yeah. Have you seen these? Have you seen these? Yeah. So Drake lives in his castle, and Hubie holds his own. Like, manages to get in a few good swings and everything, and it's like, in a fairly like believable fight, you're like, okay, this works. And he goes over the edge and he does like fall. And you're like, oh, well, he's dead. Because that's children's movie for someone's dead. He's not dead. He comes back and lifts up a freaking, like, a full stone over his head and is like roaring. And then the cave starts to collapse, and stone comes down directly on top of him and rebounds slightly and settles again. And you're like, oh, he's like really dead. Oh, he's like super dead. He's paced.
Yeah, he is dead as fuck. Yeah, Don Bluth, like I said, we talked about this with Rockadoodle, where I was shocked that the Grand Duke of Owls is not killed in that film. Like, I was like, when I think Don Bluth, I think like most of his villains eat shit at the end of that movie. Like, Jenner, again, gets stabbed and has a knife thrown in his back. He is dead. Oh yeah, and he falls in the mud. More mud. Got more mud action. Drake gets crushed into paste by rocks fall, and it's not just he dies, you see it. He's gone. Like, yeah,
it's freaking. And here's the thing: is like the girlfriend is like, dude, that thing rebounded a little bit. Like the fact that it's like she's like his body like caused it to shift slightly. Like, oh no.
Well, I mean, have you seen the size of that penguin?
Yeah,
just a little bit of resistance, but
a little bit of give.
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, his last act is to try to pull a killer croc and throw a rock at him. It was a big rock. But yeah, he dies as fuck. I was kind of expecting his cronies to like do stuff because their designs are kind of intimidating. Like they have that like demonic bird kind of quality to them. They have like red eyes. Kind of reminded me of like, was it Galvatron's goons, like the sweeps or whatever the fuck. But yeah, Rocco flying was kind of a whatever the fuck, because it is a thing that is teased throughout the whole movie that it's something he wants to do. So it's, you know, it's the miracle that ends up saving the day.
I was joking about this while we were watching it, but I'm like, is it? Could it be? Because Rocco, there's this big chase with the orcas. Yeah. And it's like, and Rocco is seemingly just freaking dead. And he's not there for like most of the third act. And it's like, oh, I think they might have actually killed him. And he's wearing a purple kerchief for the entire film. Mm-hmm. And Hubie like gets the kerchief and lays it down on the iceberg, realizing that he's dead. But when Rocco returns, when he comes back, he's wearing a teal kerchief, and I'm like, he's come back to turn the tide.
He's like, Rocco the Teal.
He is Rocco the Teal. And now that he has died and returned, he can fly. It is only after death that he has achieved this.
Oh my God. I think you're
And it
right.
is through self-sacrifice. Through the self-sacrifice to save Hubie, in death he has been given his miracle.
I think you're right, Levi. I really do think you're right. So folks, if you don't get the reference, and I'm surprised I did, honestly, because I'm not a huge fan, Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, Gandalf the Grey. I mean, to me, it was Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime turned white, you see, and then he was bad for a bit. He was white, and then he came back because Rodimus Prime, the kids didn't like him very much. He sucked. So Optimus was like, get the fuck out. Give me that Matrix. But yeah, I could totally see Don Bluth tapping into some Tolkien shit and being like, it's Rocco the Teal, and now he can fly. And now he can teach Hubie's children. Man, Hubie and Marina got busy. They have a lot of kids.
I said that same thing, quoting in The Incredibles, and got busy. It's a whole family of Martin Shorts.
Yeah, little did we know, Hubie's an energetic penguin. He gets it. But yeah, Rocco teaches Hubie and Marina's children how to fly, and that's kind of the end of the movie. Like, I think it literally says the end before the credits.
Yeah. And we have 3 superfluous tiny bird characters that shouldn't exist in the Arctic.
Yeah, they are superfluous. Like I think maybe there were intentions for them to be involved with more, but really they do like 3 things in the whole movie. They don't do anything. They just comment on things. They're present when Hubie's sad. They're present when Marina's sad. And they talk to each other. They exposit to the audience in the form of talking to each other in mid-flight, saying Marina tried to run away, but Drake got her. She's been captured by Drake. It's like, well, movie, she's been captured by Drake for the past half hour. Like,
yeah.
I don't think I've seen her without Drake for like half of this movie.
They're a very strange form of Greek chorus.
A very lame form of Greek chorus. whereas they don't do much.
like they aren't utilized well, like at all.
Maybe somebody decided there needed to be kid characters in the kids movie or something. I don't think you need that, honestly, but
no,
some people believe in it.
Here's an interesting thing. I was and this has been rolling around in my head. I bought a book a while ago. It was essentially a look back at the history of comic books, but it was written in like 1962.
Oh, whoa.
So it was essentially a guy, it was this artist who I cannot remember his name. He trained under Will Eisner. Like he was one of the guys that Eisner like directly trained.
Wow.
And his view is looking back on comics of the golden age before Wortham shut everything down. So he was a kid throughout most of the 40s and joined into comics at the end of the 40s and into the 50s. And one of the comments he makes is he's like, I always hated Robin. He's like, I hated Robin. I hated Robin's guts. He's like, I liked Batman because, damn it, as a kid, I could see Batman and be like, 20 years from now, I can be Batman, where Robin is my age. And he's jumping over stuff and he's flipping and he has this big smile on his face. And it's like, fuck you. You think you're better than me? It has this energy of like, I always hated Robin because Robin was the preppy, like, overachiever kid in the class. I could grow into Batman. Robin was just better than me and he knew it and he had that smug look on his face.
It can relate, but to further derail us, Levi, thoughts on Robin? Your personal thoughts on Robin?
I like Robin.
You like Robin?
I mean, the thing is that what I always do, and this goes back to some of our previous episodes discussions, I like dynamics and teams. It's like what I never looked at Robin and said, oh, he's a kid like me. I was always like, well, no, Batman has someone to help. Batman has somebody to lean on. It's like, well, obviously there's 18 goons in here, so we have to split them down the middle. It's like, I always liked Robin well enough. And in a way, I kind of like the multiple Robins. In a way, kind of, sort of, a little bit. I'm kind of against it in some ways. Kids, I like Tim Drake. Jason Todd should have died after that first Red Hood story because he's totally superfluous in this universe and we should stop using him. Stop it. Please stop. Bucky has a purpose in Marvel beyond Winter Soldier. Jason Todd does not. Like, at all. Beyond that initial Under the Hood story, he has to die at the end of that. Get him out of here.
Agreed.
But I honestly like the Golden Age approach. I like the Golden Age approach they took with Batman and Robin, where it's like, well, yeah, Robin got older and he just kind of kept being Robin. He changed his costume. He shifted things. Him and Helena Wayne kind of take over Gotham, and Bruce never gets another Robin. He never does. He's like 55 by the time that Dick graduates and leaves. He's kind of coming to the end of his career, and then he marries Selena, and then they effectively call it a career. It's like, I've always kind of favored that a little bit more, mostly because of the baggage that Jason Todd being alive again carries, and the fact that Tim Drake always just kind of felt superfluous. It's like, well, he's the real detective of them, and I'm like, I don't care. I really don't care. He's a fine character. I'm glad he's here, but if I had my druthers, we only got one Robin. because by the time that Dick is old enough to leave, Bruce is getting to the twilight years of his career reasonably.
Okay. So if you had to pick a favorite Robin, I assume it would be Dick Grayson.
I prefer Dick. I like Dick as a character. I like Jason as a counterbalance.
Yeah, he injects a lot of drama, but he's a season of television. He's an arc. He's not meant to hang around forever.
Well, it's one of the stories I always recommend that people read, like, because folks, there's so many good Batman stories that aren't written by Frank Miller. Like, dude, and I say this as somebody who likes Frank Miller generally. Yeah. I like Frank Miller's writing. Even his newer stuff that is not that good, I find interesting.
Even I'm the goddamn Batman.
It's still interesting, mind you. Interesting.
Are you retarded? I'm the goddamn Batman.
Like, listen, I still find All-Star Batman and Robin interesting, but mostly because it's a total dumpster fire. I don't entirely understand the thought process there, but there's so many good stories that aren't like the same six that you have been recommended all your life. One of the best is Batman the Cult.
Yeah,
the Cult
that's a great one.
Freaking rules.
Yeah.
It's like Dark Knight Rises is way more of the Cult than it is Nightfall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great story because it is Batman in a vulnerable position. It's a villain that is interesting and threatening and different with like a legitimately pretty cool plan. And it's also Jason Todd without baggage.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Jason Todd as Robin? Not the death of Robin, not Red Hood, not Superboy Prime punching reality that brings him back to life. No, we don't know that's coming yet.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Jason Todd as Robin? And the Cult is a wonderful representation of that. And it shows how radically different he is than Dick. In that he has kind of this like Raphael, like Michelangelo combo of like Jason is willing to punch Bruce across the face to snap him out of something. And I don't think Dick would ever be able to do that. And there is sort of this glee of combat. It's never like, okay, well, let's get into it. It's like, let's freaking go. Let's go. It's like Jason wants to kick ass. And it's like, it's fun. It's a fun dynamic. But really what makes it work so well is because it's a contrast to Dick.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Tim Drake, who I like well enough. He's fine. I just don't have any specific attachments to him.
Yeah, he's never resonated with me. He was always just kind of a placeholder where it's like, we need a Robin, so he works. Like he's never been terribly interesting to me. I know he's beloved. Like he's a nice kid. He's a very affable kid. I just don't have much other than that to say about him. But I would take Jason over Damian personally. I'm not a fan of Damian. He never really worked for me.
Damian works in one context.
What's that?
The Super Sons. Because watching him with well, there's something going on out there. Goodness gracious, can you hear that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow. But having Damian with
I don't know the kid's name.
Doggone it. It's escaping me because I legitimately do like it. Because Connor is clone Superboy.
Yeah.
This is Jonathan Kent.
Jonathan. There you go.
it's such a fun dynamic because Damien is a stick in the mud and he's a stuck-up rich asshole kid, and he takes himself entirely too seriously. And Jonathan is a nice Kansas can-do, like golly gee, like type personality, and it's really fun as a dynamic. It's a ton of fun. And it's like them having like these smaller adventure stories. I just dig it. I think they work in that context. I freaking hate him in Batman books.
Yeah, I always, my interest level dips whenever he pops up, where it's like, I was really enjoying this Batman story, and then this, the kid showed up.
Yeah.
Well. Anyway, this has been
Pebble and the Penguin.
Yeah, this has been Pebble and the Penguin from 1995. It's directed by Don Bluth.
Yeah.
Somehow it always comes back to comics, usually towards the end of the conversation, but I enjoy it, so hopefully people enjoy it. Before we go, hey, Levi, how about you let people know where they can find you and your YouTube channel?
Yeah, you can find me over at Your Captain Speaking over on YouTube. I talk about books, typically shorter books with some characters that you may have heard of, like Conan or James Bond or Zorro. All of these characters have long storied histories, and pretty much all their books are under 200 pages. So this is sort of a larger mission of that I want people to start reading again, especially guys, because it's like, hey, there's a lot of fun stuff out there. It's not all Brandon Sanderson enormous tomes or Tolkien or Frank Herbert. You can read something that is fun and breezy in an afternoon, and you can legitimately enjoy yourself. Like, get back into it. Have fun. That's sort of like the cornerstone of the channel.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Levi does wonderful work. Does some lovely video essays. Particularly proud of the Zorro episode. So if you need an entry point, maybe that would be it. As for myself, you've been listening to it, but the show is called Catching Up on Cinema. We're available pretty much everywhere podcasts are found, as well as YouTube. And we also do a live stream about once a month called Tales from the Shelf, wherein we talk about our movie collections. So please join in and like, share, subscribe, and all that bullshit. But yeah, that being said, thank you so much for joining us for this week's installment of Dark Side of the Bluth, the Pebble and the Penguin. And we'll catch you next time. Bye.
That is